Greetings, YouTubers. Today we're going to be graphing rational inequalities. This is a pretty complex topic that we're just going to let the calculator do 98% of the work. The only thing we're going to be doing is reading the problem and just kind of looking at it, making sure we put everything in correctly. So as you can see here, my y equals is x divided by 4 minus x, and my y2 is 3. So that's that one. So y1 there, y2 there. I look at my graph, and you can see here that I have the y equals 3, that solid line there, and then my rational function is there. The last thing we want to figure out is we look to see when my left side is smaller than my right side. So two ways to do that. We can first look at our table, so that's why this has us using the table. So you would fill out y1, so negative 0.5, negative 0.2, 0, 1, blah, 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 blah. Your y2 is just going to be 3 all the way down. And then we would see, okay, when is my y1 smaller than my y2? So we look here, negative 0.5 is smaller than 3. Negative 0.2 is smaller than 3. 0 is smaller than 3. 1 is smaller than 3. So up until we get to 3, then it's equal to, and then we have this error, and then it becomes smaller again, smaller again. So there's only a small section. So when we're shading, we can look at two things. We can look at that table, or we can just look at the graph. And so what we said was, here in the table, that at negative 4 smaller than 0.5, negative 0.5, blah, blah, blah. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up shading everything below the graph. Now another way to look at this is we're going to look to see when the blue line is lower than the red line. So the blue line is lower than the red line here, and then also, of course, all down here. So there's kind of two different ways depending on like who you ask or what textbooks you look at or what videos you watch or anything like that. Some of us may have you just highlight the rational part that's underneath or above, greater than or less than, whatever the situation calls for. And some books might actually have you shade everything. So either way is considered correct in my opinion and best of my knowledge. We're just going to shade. That's how the textbook has us doing it that we're using. So yeah, that's that. All right. So we'll do a couple more and then we'll be done because really this is just can you put the equation in the calculator correctly. So let's skip down to number 4. So be sure you're using parentheses here. So you have 2x and then divided by, and I'm going to open up two sets of parentheses because I have two things in the bottom there. I have x minus 2, so x minus 2. Then I close that parentheses and then I open up another one, x plus 3, and then I close the parentheses twice so that I can finish that thought as far as the calculator goes. And then my y2 is 1. And we're looking at our table. And you can see that this thing, this picture, this graph has 3 parts because I have 2 asymptotes. If you remember radii has, asymptote here, asymptote there, all that. So once again, we want to know when the graph is smaller than 1. So we look here. Let's make this nice and big. There we go. So we could look at our table. Smaller than 1, it's a negative 4, it's a negative 2. Well, negative 2, they're the same. So what you could do, you could just highlight those. There we go. Highlight the parts that are below. So there and there, and then here and here. Or if you want, you can just shade the whole thing that's below the y equals 1 line. All right. Guys, it's really straightforward as long as you just put it in the calculator correctly. Last one I want to do is number 6 on the notes. This is just kind of awkwardly worded, so I'm just going to cover it. Let's see. The y equals 1 over x plus 3. I'm going to represent that in blue. So we want to know when the blue line is smaller than my line, my linear line. So that would be when it's smaller than that guy. So if you look, you can see that my blue line is smaller than my red line here, and then of course there. Or if you want to do the whole shading thing, we just shade everything below. Okay, good luck guys, see you later, bye.